I genuinely feel like that is the way that you have to start a podcast. When Carlos Prates gets a W like he did today, you already know. Welcome back to another episode of Combat and Kick It. It's your host, Bano, and we back at it to review Prates versus JDM. Let's get right into it. Let's smoke. So I know for a fact, right? I say let's smoke. I know who's smoking right now. Carlos, the Nightmare Prates, is smoking right now. And he is smoking a square. He is smoking pack after pack after pack. He is chain smoking like a motherfucker right now. And good for him. Do what you will. I can't argue shit when you fight like that. Smoke as many cigarettes as you want, my friend. If Carlos Prates keeps fighting like that, cigarettes are going to be on the banned substance list. Okay? Because it's going to be considered a PED for Carlos Prates. What a performance. What a performance. Now, we kind of had a feeling that once this fight got announced, that we were going to get a matchup on the feet between two guys who have the potential to knock each other out, who are going to make it an interesting fight, and 90% chance this fight is going to stay on the feet. But there was one person. No, I'm not the only person, but there was multiple people that were predicting, and I was one of them people. I gotta ride the high horse on this one. I was one of the people predicting that Jack Della Maddalena was going to shoot as soon as he felt any trouble on the feet, and that's exactly what he did. Now, granted, it didn't do anything for him. Really didn't make a difference in the fight. Carlos Prates, his hands were on point. He was throwing at will. He had no respect for Jack's game. You know what I'm saying? Jack couldn't hit him with anything that was really messing him up. Jack caught him with a couple decent uppercuts, but I think Jack engaged until he got hit. There's something about the way that Carlos Prates hits, right? I don't know what it is, man. Them skinny arms with just like the heavy hands at the end of him. He's dangerous. All right, he's dangerous, and I think what happened was JDM was getting clipped and realized, oh shit, this dude is dangerous on the feet. I've been working on the ground game because of Islam and everything like that. I might as well take him down. Shoot for the takedown, get him down. All right, so first round hits when he did that, right? I'm like, I knew it. I predicted it. I had a feeling this was going to happen, right? I had a feeling that he was going to continue the attempt too. And, like finding that early success in it, I expected him to keep on trying to get it. Prates was not letting it happen. Anytime that the fight went to the ground in any way, Prates was able to get right back up. He was landing beautiful knees. He was landing elbows. He was landing the elbow right down the middle like this. Like he was landing any shot he felt like. He was pinging JDM up. Like that was one of the best welterweight performances we've had out of all the welterweights recently. I would say him and Michael Morales have made some of the most impressive welterweight performances in recent memory, at least. You know, it's like you watch a fight like that. That's Prates now, back to back. All right, back to back finishes on former champions. Maybe it's true that there's a slight curse on the former welterweight champion. Like you become a welterweight champion, you lose it, and you're on a downfall. It seems like everybody since Johnny Hendricks has had that downfall the second they have lost the belt. But I also think that's just the game, right? Once you get the belt, that's the success. That's the peak that you've been chasing, right? That's the high you've been chasing in this game, and you finally achieved it, right? You can't achieve that high again, right? I think that's why Israel Adesanya is the way Izzy is now, right? If you look at Izzy's fights, Izzy was on this rise, got the belt, right? He said the belt wasn't really anything he cared for. He just wanted to continue his legacy, and he did. He continued getting wins. He defended the belt. He was active in one of the crappiest times to be active in, and 2020 to be exact. I'm not saying his entire career. I'm saying 2020 where he was pretty active. You know, like guys being active in that time period was tough regardless. But Izzy was an active champion, and what happened was Alex came through where Izzy has already cleared out the division. There was nobody left besides the next wave that was going to come up. He had already cleared out who was important in the division, right? So here comes Alex Pereira. Huge history between them. Obviously, Izzy, before his win over him, he never had a win over Alex Pereira. So it was built perfectly, right? It was built perfectly, and Alex Pereira got the finish, got the win, and it was a tight one, right? It was close. Like some people could argue it was an early stoppage, but realistically, Alex would have landed a couple more shots, and I think the night would have been over with anyways. But Izzy had that high with the championship, lost it to the guy he never wanted to lose it to. Okay, he can reach that high again now because that high is him beating Alex Pereira, and he did. He reached that high to the max, to the fullest potential he could reach that high by getting that knockout, having the celebration after everything like that. It was a highlight knockout that was continued for months. We saw that knockout, right, and we'll still see that knockout on highlights till this day. So he hit that high again. He hit the peak. He reached that. Once you reach that, unless you could just somehow stay up there, you're gonna fall. It's a tough thing, man. Hunger is a real thing in this game. You cannot be in a game where there is a continuous wave of people that are hungrier than you because they haven't been where you have been. It doesn't mean that a guy loses his skill set or he's not good anymore. The mentality changes. Right, we've seen it so many times through fighters through the years, whether it's financially, the money changes, so the mind changes, or physically, or just overall, you see the next wave. These guys come up and something different. It's something different. You know, very rare do you see a guy in MMA retire on top, right? Like Khabib retiring undefeated on top. That was like the best thing he could do. You know what I'm saying? Who knows if longevity would have ended up ruining his legacy by him not having that zero anymore. To me, Khabib's record is not overall that impressive. Being undefeated in the UFC and in MMA, that's impressive, right? Regardless, that's impressive. But when we're talking about this man being the GOAT, the greatest of all time, all this kind of stuff, you kind of have to run through the resume, and besides the last few fights, he ain't got no resume. He ain't got nobody that's worth the fuck in there. All right, so he's what? He retired at 29-0. Last fight was against Justin Gaethje. Beat Justin Gaethje. He beat before that Dustin Poirier. Before that, he beat, I want to say it was Conor before that. I don't think he fought anybody else before that. So he beat Conor before that. Before Conor, who did he beat before Conor? Ally Quinta. Before that, he beat Michael Johnson. And realistically, looking at Michael Johnson in his career and looking at Al Quinta in his your career, and let's be real, Gleason Tebow took that man the distance. I mean, Gleason Tebow arguably beat him. That's your GOAT. Khabib's a dog. All right. Not arguing the talent. The talent is there. If he would have kept going in the division, there's a lot of guys he would have continued to wipe out. I am not arguing that, right? I'm just arguing from the resume standpoint. Not as impressive as it seems when you just hear the 29-0. But holy shit, did I get off topic. How did I even get here? I was talking about JDM and Carlos Prates, then got to Izzy, then got to Khabib. I'm so fucking lost now. I don't even know where I'm at. Oh, another performance I gotta shout out, gotta talk about, gotta highlight was Sakil's again. I mean, this dude is the truth. This dude really is the truth. He's got good hands. He could kick. He's got now. Granted, it seemed like Benny could have put some work on the ground. If he was able to really get him down, control him, I think Benny would have had a good night. But this dude's got hands, man. Killian Sakil is a dog, and he got mitts. All right, and I think he's going to be dangerous. Now, the lightweight division is always a tricky division because it's such a tough division. There's a lot going on all the time. There's a lot of moving parts in the division, a lot of big names in the division, right? So it's a hard one to balance sometimes. This kid's going to rise through the division fast. Getting a win, not just a win, a finish over Beneil Dariush, massive. Massive. Beneil Dariush was supposed to be a champion contender. Like, he was supposed to fight for the belt. There was a time where Beneil was going to be the next guy. Think about that. This kid's supposed to be a prospect, getting a win over that, not just a win, a finish over that. That's big. That's big. And when we talk about the lightweight division, they just announced that Paddy Pimblett and Benoit Saint Denis is going to happen. So, like I said, always a lot of moving parts, especially in the top 10. And Sakil just now broke into the top 10. Now he's got a lot to look forward to, right? He's got a lot of different fights, got a lot of different opportunities, got a lot of money that he could be making. That was a performance of the night for sure. He got clipped with a left hand. Benny caught him with that left hand, and it didn't even seem like it was crazy. It was like just a slight jab on a counter, and it dropped him. And I was like, oh. And then got back up, and you know, whatever the case may be throughout the fight, you know, did their thing, and he ended up getting the finish. But this dude is good, right? There was a moment where the counter, when he got caught with that hook, Beneil threw a kick. He caught it. He got caught with the hook. He went down. Beneil swarmed him. Not swarmed him with punches, but just kind of closed the distance on him. Sakil was good. He stayed calm. Did not crumble under pressure. Did not get worried. He's in a big situation, but not the biggest, grandest stage of them all type thing. But it's a big situation, right? Big fight for him. He stayed calm. That's exactly what you have to do, especially against a veteran like Beneil Dariush, because at any moment you can make a mistake against a veteran like that, and he could just put you in a position where he could stall you out. You know, there's a lot of times where we've seen that before. A veteran can do something to where he doesn't like what you're doing, so he's just going to try to stall you out. If he knows he can control you, he's going to stall you out. It's actually crazy. Beneil Dariush only landed 4 out of 10 strikes. 3 minutes of the fight, 4 out of 10 strikes. That's crazy. Got him down 2 out of 5 times. Like I said, if he could have got him down, held him down, and just tried to, you know, do the stall out control type of thing, he might have been able to get a win. But Sakil is a dog, man. He really is. That was a great performance. I didn't get to see a lot of Tim Elliott versus Steve Erceg. I got like glimpses of that one. Seems like Steve Erceg's just clean boxing was the thing that won him that fight. That's what it looked like from what I was seeing. It looked like Tim was just a little too sloppy in there. And wasn't looking like he was landing. I mean, you could land on Steve Erceg. It's not hard to get through to his chin, but Tim wasn't landing nothing that was crazy. And Steve really wasn't landing nothing that was hefty either from what I was seeing. He was just basically outboxing him, out striking him, out landing him. You know, the dude's solid. The problem is, it's a tough-ass division, 125. It's a slept-on division. When you really look at these guys in the division, there's a lot of talent, but it's tough. Because if you don't make noise, and I'm not talking about, let me elaborate on tough. The division has tough fighters, but I'm talking about it is tough because you're in the 125-pound division, right? That's the hardest part. no one really is like focused or locked in on the flyweights, right? So it's you have to make statements, you have to be exciting, you have to put on good performances. Decision wins aren't going to do it, but Steve Erceg's the type of guy who's going to get decision wins, is how he did against Tim Elliott this morning. It just, I don't know. Steve Erceg's good, but he's not championship level good. That's why he didn't get past Pantoja. And last thing I'm going to talk about, Tai Tuivasa. You got to go. Thank you for your service. Appreciate your work. Go have a shoey somewhere else. Damn, man. Damn. I fuck with Ty too. I didn't want to see him lose another fight. I wanted him to see a bounce, just get a little bounce back, man. Just a little bounce back. Heavyweight Tony Ferguson. Not quite. Not quite. Not quite. Tony was on a 12 fight win streak before. And he was whooping ass on that 12 fight win streak. Now Ty was a dog, knocking people out and shit. But ain't get a W since Derek Lewis. That's wild. That's wild. It's either Tai Tuivasa has to call it quits, or the UFC's going to have to cut ties. I don't see how he gets, unless they give him one last chance. He knows his ass was on the line for this fight. So it's like, I don't know. Do you keep him around? Do you keep him around to try to sell these Australian cards and New Zealand cards and all this kind of stuff? Because the fans aren't going to want to see him if he's losing. No one wants to go there and watch one of their favorite fighters in their like hometown get knocked out or something. So I don't know. UFC's gotta make a decision on what they're gonna do with that man. Cause yeah, I don't know, man. Not good. Not good. Not good. But yeah, fantastic performance by Carlos Prates. Fantastic performance by Sakhild. Yeah, it seemed like a pretty decent card. Like I said, I didn't get to really see all of it. Woke up, had to get ready for work, caught what I can catch. You know what I mean? But yeah, seemed pretty good. Seemed pretty good overall. But what's next for Carlos Prates? What's next for JDM? That's the question. That's a real question. Carlos Prates, a lot of people say, oh, give him like a number one contender fight. Give him Michael Morales. Give him Ian Gary again or something like that. I don't know which way you go. I think Michael Morales is a pretty good option. That's a pretty good decision because there's nobody else really at the top of the division that you're arguing to make this fight with. So I would say Michael Morales is the guy. You probably put on a really exciting fight. Honestly, I can't think of anybody else. I think that's the fight you make. Simple. And then for JDM, Bilal 2. Free fight night. Bilal 2. God, that sounds boring as shit. Nah, not no free fight night. Not no free fight night. Early prelims on a free fight night. No. No. Jack's still a dog, man. Jack's still a dog. I just think Carlos Prates, he cracks. He has heavy hands. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Just that simple. But looks like my camera's running out of memory space. But that's it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. You know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification button so you know when the next episode is out. And I'll catch you on the next episode. Your boy Bando's out.